The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast.
Zara's in the house.
Yes, I. What it do? This is my Malcolm hat. They forgot Malcolm had a picture with this hat on too.
Out here stepping, man. It's snowing. It's very fitting for our weather out in this bitch. The whole northern hemisphere in the U.S. is going through.
It's beginning to look a lot like,
Armageddon.
That part. That part.
Remember I said, man, what if hell was like actually just really cold? Because when you so cold, you get burned. I was like, what if it's just cold and ice, man? You know, that's where Mr. Freeze stayed in the movie. He was in the kind of in the core. He went to the inside of things. But it is what it is. No theories today. We got some good shit to get to. But first and foremost, we done made it to the end of 2022.
Man.
We get some something. Shit, that's been we done journeyed. Podcast been around as long as my baby been alive.
Man.
That's crazy. Y'all know her better than the world know her.
Man. Man.
Just around, man. It's been a year. And for us, it's been a blessed year. It's been a year though. So I'm glad we at this point. This is the point where everybody want to pretend to be music aficionados and culture aficionados and gatekeepers and tastemakers. So I figured we should give our crack at it too, man.
Okay.
Right here on the Streets A&R Podcast, man. So I'm going to give my introduction. I'm one of your hosts, getEJIKEwithit.
Yeah. It's your other host, Jonny No Good.
And I'm here to cause some ruckus. I ain't going to lie, because I don't care about y'all. But I love y'all, but I don't care about the y'alls. Sorry for you. And when I say that, I mean like who y'all say hot, who y'all say not. Today, this is the time of the year where everybody gets to share their opinion. Before we get to the time of next year where everybody get to set their fake goals, faux goals for the year. So we I guess we'll join in on the fun. But it's been a good year, man. Even for the pod, man. We had some great stats. And I got to share this one again, man.
Yes, sir.
It's one stat we had, man, for podcasts in the category in which we are categorized in music. We put out more content than 93% of all podcasts worldwide on Spotify. We top 7% in here with the content. So that ain't easy to do. And that's a hell of an achievement by some folks that just started shit off a humbug, off an idea, got some young men together, and we decided to make some shit shake. We figured out space. We figured out equipment. We had people to help back us. We had a lot now, and we had to fund this shit ourselves. We figured out on the go. Got through some bumps and bruises, and we still here. Everybody ain't able.
That part.
Do you remember what the average podcast lasts? It's like something stupid low.
I think it's 2 episodes.
2 episodes. And we on like 46. I think this 46.
I think this 47 or 48.
We up there. We still chugging along. Like you said on Major Payne, a chugga. Two. We chugging along. But man, it's been a great ride, and we gonna keep riding. Looking forward to next year. But before we get into next year, man, let's go on and close out this year.
Yes, sir.
You know how I like to do it. Hey, man, I don't give a shit about y'all opinions on music. I got my own. That's why they opinions. I get to pin my shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just first, I want to acknowledge some in the music. One thing that I noticed And it's about damn time, me being Nigerian, I know it's a big influx of Afrobeats, Afrowave.
Mm-hmm.
And even to the point where I've been able to listen to a lot more this year than I have in recent years, not gonna lie. But I'm even noticing the trend and where it's headed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, typical Afrobeats and Afrowave music has kind of been upbeat and shit. They're smoothing it out. They're getting to it, going to an R&B type vibe. Some of the bigger artists are smoothing it out. And it's gonna be interesting to see where that take them. They've kind of, you know, it's really been a lot of house vibe, house music, party vibes, but they are like getting real, like sensual, and it sounds amazing. So I'm excited to see where this next wave of the Afro wave goes and how it manifests out, and hopefully see some of them artists next year at our Afro Fest. So. You know, we kind of like Omaha's. I think you said it, Johnny.
Yeah.
Omaha is becoming a hub for Africa and the African diaspora. So, and we really are. Not even bullshitting. We done had some people, players here.
I mean, we got the largest South Sudanese population in America. You know, I believe it's close to 65K or something. I think they estimated. So, I mean, we got one of the largest concentrations of African populations here.
Yeah.
And I mean, and when you have that happen, right, places like Jamaica, places like Haiti, you know, when that happens, then people are able to hold on to the culture and embrace the culture. So when you have a concentration of people, they're able to have their culture influence the area, and you see that happening with the African diaspora. So it's dope.
Yeah, man. And it's not just for the South Sudanese. They have helped, because of their presence, they've helped to push the other people from the countries and the continent to collaborate and to do more as a unit.
Because you're seeing the big heavy hitters from Nigeria, all of that stuff. So
like real life in the city. No joke. And that's from music to business to, and definitely sports. So we're seeing that. But I just want to give some kudos to these folks who this year put out some albums. And I ain't ranking them, but I kind of am. Okay. I'm going to put them from my favorite, my least favorite, I guess. I'm gonna say to my most, and I'm sorry, I'm finna offend y'all already, but not yet. One group actually out of Europe is a producer, and they bring in they're mixing Afrobeats and more intentional Afrobeats and house music, new wave house music. That's Raz and Afla. Some interesting music I found on my favorite app. And I was like, okay, need that for the house party and for the Afrobeats party. Go with both. So shout out to them, man. Next up, Burna Boy. And even though he had one of the biggest hits this year, which I ain't gonna lie, that's like one of my least favorite songs on the album, the last, but smash hit, you know, because they flipped, what's her name, Toni Braxton's song. They made it into the Afrobeat.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah. So Burna Boy came through again this year. One of the biggest stars in the world right now.
I love that song he got on that Black Panther soundtrack.
So he's still moving. My guy from the NBA, man. Serge Ibaka.
Oh yeah, you did talk about that Serge Ibaka album.
Yeah, this is hard though, man. Art. I think it's called Art, man. Serge Ibaka. Hey, don't listen to Giannis, bro. You an artist. Giannis shit on him. He's like, you just a role player who get rebounds and blocks. He said, you're not an artist. You're not a cook. I'm like, stop hating. It was all in fun though. But shout out to Serge, man. Serge had a phenomenal album. Not gonna lie to you. Next, I'm gonna go with new cat that I found this year. Never heard of him before, but smooth ass album, Benji Flow. Benji Flow got some tracks I love throwing in the mix when I'm DJing, man. Benji Flow his album start out with like a jazz ensemble intro, and I was like, oh, what is all right? Then you get right to it, man. Shout out Benji Flow. Next, then you got the maybe bigger than Burna Boy. He came little pop before him. Wizkid. Wizkid came with some real sexy ass music. He kind of doubled down on what he did his previous album. That when he had that song with Tim's, The body. So he kind of doubled down on the smoothness.
Okay.
And stripped it even more and went super jazzy on his latest album, man. Shout out WizKid, man. He's still out here. Starboy is being a star. And then, man, I ain't gonna lie, this dude popped out. No, I don't know who he is, but he is bubbling. Dude named Masaki. Going nuts right now. Going crazy.
Asake.
Asake. Man, going crazy. Like he is, for me, out of nowhere. I don't know. Like I said, I done consumed a whole lot of shit. But Asake, man, he done really came through. But that's just my short list on the Afrobeats. I had to give a shout out, man, to all my people who been rocking with the Afrobeats, the Afro wave, man. I've been familiar. I've been in there. I even had to go get some old shit that I remember when I went to Nigeria. Had to go get that One Day Code, that Bumper to Bumper. You telling me bumper to bumper? I was like, yeah, this was my shit when I was over there. I ain't gonna lie. I had to go find like who makes this song. So I actually went to go find and had his greatest hits. He got some jams too. Shout out to One Day Code, man. But yeah, man. So that's my little Afrobeats list.
Man.
Just my quick six. And if you don't mind, Jonny, because I got a whole nother list for rap that I gotta get through, but I'm gonna jump into my non-hip hop and of course non-Afrobeats list real quick. And I gotta now listen. This is the list, y'all. I'm finna lose all my women, all my female followers, my women followers. Cause I don't play politics. And okay, I do sometimes, but not really. Especially in the non-rap category. I just gotta really gravitate to what I've been listening to the most. So I got 10. It's a strong ass 10. And again, this is non-rap and non-Afrobeats, but it may include some other genres too. And I'm gonna give a special shout out to the resurgence in the house music real quick. My guy Lakim, he had dropped 3 mini projects called Blends and Bootlegs, flipping beats, making them house, and he has his own merch line saying make house music black again. So shout out to Lakim, man. I actually had him on. I took him off my list real quick. He dropped 3 projects. You can go get them on Bandcamp. You can get them for free if you want to. Drop my man a couple coins, you know, on that tip. But man, I'm talking masterful flips, bro. So shout out to Lakim, man. I see you, brother. Let's get into this list, man. All right. Number 10. Oh, they finna hate me. I'm sorry. I only got it to spin it one time. And it was interesting. Oh, SZA. SOS. Okay. I'm sorry. I know y'all got it one. I'm sorry. All right, you can don't unfollow, please. Don't unsubscribe. This is rock with me. But SZA SOS. I think Joe Budden put it the best when he described this album, and I heard exactly what he heard. This is basically black girl pop. It's not it's a blend of. It sounds like some shit Avril Lavigne, all of them JoJo would have put out back in 2007. This is what it sounds like, right? And I actually saw a real heavy influence of people, music, and what they grew up listening to in their music today. I noticed that a little bit with a few of the artists, and I get to that later when I especially get to the rap category. But SZA SOS, man, I ain't gonna lie. The reason I had it so low too was like I ain't hurt, and I ain't hurt no woman in a long time, so I don't identify with her lyrics. She was pissed, boy. It sound good, but she was mad. Hey, he apologized. Drake is sorry.
That's what she used to mess with?
Well, listen, it's a whole list. One of them. But he's sorry too, I think.
That nigga ain't sorry.
I was trying to shoot him some bail, dog.
Listen. Man. You was talking about you was good with being the weekend girl and all this shit. No, do not play victim.
Listen.
You was saying you was good with being just the weekend. The other girl and shit like that can have you mine's on the weekend, all that other shit. Come on now. Don't play that. This is the reason. There's a lot of confusion that's going on out here. If you want love, say you want love. I seen somebody last night put up a status. Oh, it's cold out here. I want to cuddle. with my blanket, knowing damn well you want to cuddle. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why people ain't getting what they want. We got to quit this shit. In 2023, we got to stop expecting people to be mind readers. And I'm telling you, SZA, if you want a relationship, quit saying you just for the weekend. I'm going to just have your ass on the weekend.
We got the best hot take in the world clip. But yeah, for real. That's what the energy been on. This ain't the pod for that, but that's what I don't need you. I can do this. I'm just all right. Well, let's test the waters, and you drown. Your album sounds amazing though. Not gonna bullshit you. It's not my content, but the album, like the sounds and how she her vocals are, this some shit.
Man, I love SZA. Yeah. Shit, I remember I took the person I used to be with to see SZA when she came to Lincoln, 2017. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Been a fan of SZA since the Z album. Yeah, so this ain't coming from somebody who don't rock with you. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Sexy ass. But all I'm saying is, quit saying that you only for the weekend. Right.
Yeah, man. We want to see SZA run to the right person. I got that shit. All of them motherfuckers. OG. But next on my list, man, we gonna get off of you until Jonny can get on you. We gonna get my next on my list, and shout out to my homeboy representing Tyler, Texas, man. My guy, Paul Cawthon, man. Country come down.
Yeah.
That man, Paul is that dude, man. Not gonna lie, man. My man rise to stardom is crazy. Literally went to high school with this man. But Paul, man, a hell of an album. His last album was amazing too. But like, I'm being in the crowd, watching the crowd rock. And even him using, it's country a lot. He has a few that are super country, but most of his stuff, you can tell that the influence of how he grew up, hearing that hip hop melody influence into the country music, and just being able to make his voice so deep when he don't talk like that at all is amazing. Paul, that's my guy. We gonna rock, man. I gotta get on tour with you or something. Get a couple dates, man. Let's rock out, bro. For real, man. He was one of the cool homies when my homeboy did some crazy shit. He was one of the cool guys.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just leave it at that. He was one of the cool ones. Number 8 on my list, man. Lucky Day, man. With Candy Drip. I would have had it higher, but I gotta give a critique. Them poetry interludes was not it. But his songs, he's an amazing writer for songs.
I never checked it out. I know y'all did the listening party.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Elijah for having that on one of the listening parties. Like, amazing music, different vibe throughout the project, but amazing music. A pretty cohesive project as far as the Sonics are concerned. So, man, Lucky Day, man. Shout out to you, brother. Number 7 on my list was a surprise that I saw a lot of artists in the artistry of things was bigging them up, and I checked it out. And it's this little young phenoms, Domi and JD Beck. Not tight. This is not a project that's R&B. It is a instrumental, pretty much project. Phenomenal drummer. Never heard so many drum patterns a day in my life. Crazy shit on this album, and got some of the heavy hitters on there like Thundercat. I think Badu is on this album as well. But I believe they're from overseas. Didn't even look them up exactly who they were. I just got the project, and I was like, yo, this instrumentation is crazy. This is one of the people I really want to see live to absorb the live instrumentation of what they do, and they are masters. They are extremely young. I think they're phenoms. So that's some people I like. Hopefully they get around here, get them at a show. I'm going. Like, just that shit is gonna be. It's like theater, bro. It's like it's amazing. But shout out to them. Number 6 on my list, man. I got a chance to see her at Maha Festival a couple years back. Little bitty team. Raven Lene. Hypnos, man. I vibe with it. She puts out great music. She has an extremely strong voice. She loves to, I see all of her little EPs, how they have kind of culminated into this full project, whereas each EP was a different sound. So she put all those in this particular project, Hypnos. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see her on her own show. She was supposed to come here, but the headlining artist on tour she was going to be on ended up canceling all the shows. So she had canceled. She was going to be here. So that was one I was looking forward to and just could not make it to see her on that time. So Shout out to you, Raven Lene, man. Come back to the O, man. We miss you.
Mm-hmm.
Come back to the O. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to get in trouble. Top 5. Number 5. This group is just one of my favorite groups, and they did what I asked them to do, and they didn't even know I asked them. Moonchild with Starfruit. I said, man, they make very, very soothing neo soul music. And I said, man, I hope they start to work with some of the people, and because they're very much a white band. I said, I hope they start to work with some of our pioneers in neo soul. And over here, first track on this album got Layla Hathaway. I was like, thank you. Thank you. And I was like, it was one of those, and this one really did it for me, kind of like their previous album, not the last one, but the one before, Voyager. But Moonchild, Starfruit is amazing. They definitely tapped in with a couple of, primarily, I think all female artists as features. I believe, I can't remember for sure. I know they got Rhapsody on there. Camille, is it Camille Gray? Il Camille. Layla Hathaway. They got some hitters on this album. I was like, man, but amazing music. Moonchild, one of my favorites, period. Yeah. Number 4, man. It's only so many people that know how to sing off key and make it sound good. And this is somebody I've been following for a little bit. My guy, Black Party. I know people thought I was going to say Brent. Sorry. I got Black Party. Black Party with Hummingbird. Even got Gambino at the end of the album with him. But I was like, yo, this is my shit. Because one of my favorite songs to throw in there is I forget the name of it. I would just be saying da 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 da. I gotta remember that song. Man, I'm on to you. Yeah, man. With Black Party, Hummingbird, some hellified tracks on here, bro. Like, I like being. It's like somebody who knows how to play keys and really know how to use the black keys, which is a very distinct thing to know how to do, how to use them properly. Most people kind of stay away from them shit. But that's what it's like for me. But Black Party came through in Hummingbird. Number 3 is about to get us canceled because they're coming in at number 3. I'm sorry, we might get stung out here by the Beehive. But damn, Beyonce, I got you at number 3 with Renaissance. It ain't too much to say about Renaissance. Shit, she helped bring back the house party vibe a little bit on a large scale. Like the movement's been happening, but she did it on a large scale when she didn't have to. Every woman loves this album. Might be the number 1 album played in like the drag shows. Not even bullshit. Shout out to my guy Dewan for hosting one here, a drag ball. Like that shit was cold, man. I ain't gonna lie. This shit. And then we was sober. Everybody was sober. There was no liquor in there. People having a good time. So to have music that helps you have a good time without needing any other influences is amazing. So you can't hate on the album. You know what I'm saying? She really did that, and she flexed a little bit on the vocals. Just, you know what I'm saying? I used to be hard on her on the vocals. She flexed a little bit. Okay. She tried to keep me quiet a little bit. We'll see what's next. But shout out to Beyonce, man.
Shout out to the Beehive.
The Beehive, man. We love y'all.
Yeah, listen.
You want to smoke with them too?
Hey, listen, I've never really listened to Beyonce, so I haven't listened to that. I was definitely rocking with the song "You Can't Break My Soul." That was on there, right? That was my anthem. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't listened to that. I mean, shit. Shout out to Rihanna. Right. Shit.
Yeah, we done got clipped now. We clipped. We done. We getting fucked up. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. Shit was cold. Number 2, man. I found this shit on Bandcamp, and I've been replaying the hell out this album, man. My guy Bobby Arosa.
Okay.
Get to the Other Side. I don't know how I found it. It just kept out. I said, let me buy this. Man, this shit is beautiful music. Very soothing, a very streamlined, style of production on the project. I seen somebody post like, yo, this song is amazing. I was like, get the project. It's like, wait, it's a whole project? Like, get the project. But get to the other side, which is him also just dealing with the pandemic and mental health, just trying to get to the other side of being healthy. So, you know what I'm saying? Why are you laughing?
I'm sitting here thinking about the smoke the chimneys and shit I'm barking up. I'm over here like, yeah, nigga, what it do? I want all the smoke.
All the smoke.
All the smoke until the smoke comes.
Right.
But what you're saying about my man Arusa.
Yeah, no, shit is amazing. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit, I'll put that on any, especially on ride. You talking about riding music? Like if you by yourself riding through the woods, that's that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Going through these back roads over here, that's that shit.
Yeah.
I be chilling, man. Shout out to Bobby Arosa, man. Get to the other side. Hopefully he can get out and get on a US tour soon. And then number 1 came early. Shout out to Elijah for hosting the listening parties. She did this one, and I had no clue who this young lady was. This shit was amazing. Amber Mark, 3 Dimensions. That shit was amazing.
Man, that's your number 1 project.
Of non-hip, yes. That shit was amazing. Not gonna lie. It's hard to hate on that, man. So dynamic in the tracks. Amazing voice.
She beautiful.
That too. It took me by shock. I had no clue who she was, and I was like, yo, this shit is great. And I kept listening, like, this shit is greater. And I was like, man. So Amber Mark, man, definitely got one. Sorry for you people that liked all the popular shit all the time. But I had to get that one to Amber, man. That was a hell of a project. I'm looking for more to come from her. I'm figure she gonna pop eventually, like mainstream. But that's one of the ones for me, man. That's definitely one of the ones. And let me just make sure, do I got any people? Oh, and I just wanna, so that's my actual list. And just some honorable mentions, man. Shout out to people like Mason Group I got to meet out in California. Say she. I can't say too much. But shout out to them. We'll see y'all later. You know? And then of course, I just wish the projects was longer. Carabin and Leon Bridges, they got a thing. And I hope they just put out a whole project of a thing. Because they should be amazing, man. Texas Moon. I love Texas Sun a little bit better than Texas Moon, but it's so smooth. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Let me just give a quick shout out to my nigga Drake, man. That shit was fly. I know niggas was hating on it. Honestly, never mind. But that shit was fly. He going to get the world money. He done with the U.S. only. That's world money time. But yeah, man. Amber Mark, non-hip, non-rap, best. That was my shit, man. Okay. Her, Bobby, and Beyonce. That was my shit. Now it's time to give some fucking hot takes, man. And this time I'm gonna throw it to my guy Jonny, man. Let's get to your albums. I don't know if you just doing rap. It don't matter to me. Cause I'm the one that listens to so much, so I gotta break my shit up. Ain't no way to do it in one. Yeah. So I'm gonna come back with my list of hip hoppers. But Jonny, man, you're a selective individual with you very extremely disciplined and selective. I'm not saying like just music, like. A nigga don't just do a bunch of bullshit. I'm just telling y'all. That's just not who he is.
Yes, sir.
So if you even got listened to, I consider it a blessing, my nigga.
Yes, sir.
You was blessed.
Yes, sir.
That stream was a blessing.
Yes, sir.
From the most high.
Yes, sir.
And the highest. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Man, Jonny, man, what you got for the people, man?
Man, so, I mean, kind of like last year, you know, I don't feel like I listen to enough music to make like a top list, right? Because it's not all the way subjective. It's not all the way objective. It's not all the way looking at all the variables. There's some top projects I haven't listened to yet. You know, there's plenty of projects I haven't had a chance to listen to. And one of those, I haven't listened to Nas's project all the way through. So I got it downloaded. I checked out a couple tracks. I haven't listened to it all the way through. My guy just dropped. You know what I'm saying? Ab Soul just dropped. I ain't had a chance to listen to that. I listened to Do Better and I listened to Hollandaise. That's the only 2 songs out of, you know what I'm saying? So I haven't checked it out.
Oh, can I give a quick shout out to my guy Steve Lacy?
Okay.
Everybody was on that. He had the concert I went to. He was next door, sold out with like 17-year-olds, like paying shit upwards of $300 a ticket. Sold out at the House of Blues, man. But I haven't. That's one of the ones I ain't got to. I'm like, shit. I get to the end of my list, like, ooh, I forgot Steve, but I ain't listened to it, so I gotta tell the truth. Back to Jonny.
Man, listen. So it's plenty of projects I ain't checked out. So, man, yeah, forgive me, man. But you know,
speak your truth,
man. Let's see, man. I got 1, 2.
Listen, we already out
3,
of it.
4, 5, 6, 7 projects. So I got 6 projects. I got 6 projects that I could mention, man. 6 projects I could mention, man. And yeah, man. We just gonna get to it, man. I mean,
you already done jumped off the porch with the scissor.
Hey, listen, man, listen.
Porch. We in the streets.
We in the streets. Streets A&R Podcast. What y'all thought it was? Man. So as far as projects, man, one of the projects that I gotta mention that I don't know where to put it at, but I just gotta mention is one of the ones that you put us on to, and that was a group that you had ran into, that you had checked out there in Phoenix. You know, and that's one of my honorable mentions. I figured they might be on your list,
of course.
So I'll leave it for you to talk about them a little bit later. But they one of my honorable mentions.
You can
for
mention
sure.
them, shit.
Coast Contra.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's one of the honorable mentions. That song "Get the Worm" probably definitely one of my anthems of the year, and just that old school hip hop flow, real MC hip hop vibe, synergy amongst the group. Like it's there, it's vibe, and they have fun doing music, and you can hear it in the music. So, Coast Contra is one of the groups and one of the projects I got to mention. Outside of Coast Contra, I didn't listen to this project all the way through, but I listened to enough of this project that there's like 4 or 5 songs on there that I really, really like. So I got to mention it. Man, Pusha T, man. Pusha T project is fire. Me and Young Guy was just listening to a couple of them tracks on the way over here. Like that's one of them ones. When I heard it through, just the lyricism, the wordplay. Of course, he talking about the bullshit, but the way in which he talk about it is so eloquent. You know what I'm saying? He talked about if he was he's the genesis of the brick pushing, and you know, it's just the way in which he put his bars together, man. It's really, next level lyricism.
He is at the top of many lists, and I think he made, was it either Rolling Stone or Billboard #1. So shit.
Yeah.
You know what you hear.
Yeah. And I mean, it's right. So like, that's why my list is subjective. It's not saying that these are the best. These are my favorites. Because if I'm talking about one of the best, his project is one of the best. That don't mean that it's my favorite, but it's one of the best. Next project that I got to mention. Again, one of my favorite projects don't necessarily mean that it's one of the best projects. And that was my guy, Larry June, Spaceships on the Blade. That project was solid, man. I really fuck with June. I fuck with my guy. Just everything and what he put together in that project. He had a couple of tracks that was real smooth for the ladies. Really kind of ventured himself out a little bit and explored a little bit with some of his sounds, and it was super smooth. So I haven't listened to that project in a while. Listened to it early on when it dropped back in August, which, damn, it's crazy that seemed long ago. But man, 4 months ago was a long time ago. But shout out to my guy, Larry June, man. That definitely was one of my top projects of the year. Man. So going into number 3, man. Whoo. Shit,
Say
man.
it with your chest.
Say it with my chest. This is another one. Oh my God, dude, this is crazy. Damn. So if I'm gonna put this one there, that mean that, damn, this is crazy. So this is another one that I didn't get the chance to listen all the way through, but I know what I heard. And this was a project that I used as a teaching tool, one of the songs as a teaching tool for my summer class. And that's Vince Staples' Ramona Park Broke My Heart. That When Sparks Fly.
Yeah.
That right there is like a phenomenal example of personification and giving life to the weapon and talking about life from the aspect of the weapon and from the aspect of itself. And I think that it's done in such a way where it reminds you of songs like Pac's Me and My Girlfriend. And if you don't know what you're listening to, it's real easy to miss what he said until you run it back.
Yeah, and it's crazy because that song literally did exactly what in 2020 or 2019 when I came in and talked about Grip's album Snub Nose. That's exactly, it's called Snub Nose, but it's exactly that. Rapping from that perspective, from the perspective of the weapon, perspective of the assailant, perspective of somebody who just lives in the hood where the shit happens. Like, and he put it just through full length album, but Vince captured that shit in the song.
Man, and that's why I'm like, okay, if I'm putting that there at 3, it's kind of crazy because then so my number 1, like, damn, that's wild, man. But so number 2, man, and I'm just like, damn, man, like, yeah, man, these are my favorite pieces. This is my favorite shit. So if I'm talking number 2, man, number 2 got to go with one of the best projects that I heard in a very, very long time. Man. My guy K-Dot, man. Man, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, man. Like, that right there, that project, I think the depth of it goes over a lot of people's head. His journey and where he's at, a lot of people's not there yet. And as more people, especially as it seemed like we entering into a mental health crisis, as more people start to seek healing, and those aspects, I think a lot of what Kendrick is talking about will become more relevant and will be used as a model and a basis for healing. I just think that we not there all the way as a people yet.
So it's flying by just a little bit. It's not as appreciated as you know it will be. And yeah, I got more on that later. So
yeah, definitely Kendrick, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, that project in and of itself. Just the concepts in which he was able to make palatable, conversations that he was able to make palatable, that in itself will be a culture shifter. And as our culture continue one towards healing and love, that'll be more and more prevalent as we get to talking about projects that shift the world. I wasn't like, that was how To Pimp a Butterfly was initially. A lot of people initially didn't really get or grasp the magnitude of it. I didn't listen to Pimp a Butterfly until this year, a week before Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers dropped. You know, I know you had used that as a teaching tool for your students, so I heard a couple songs, but just the magnitude of where Kendrick was at, I just appreciate him as an artist for being vulnerable enough to share that with us.
Yes, sir.
Man,
it's rare, and now I know who you want. That's crazy.
Man, it is wild, man. My number 1 project, man. It's not just, man, like, if this is my favorite project, if this is like the shit that I'm bumping, if this the shit I'm riding around, if this the shit that I'm randomly just saying lyrics from, shit, bruh.
Give it to him.
Man, bruh. Listen, everybody's biased, man, but I swear to Jesus, y'all gonna have to, bruh. Y'all the man jacket weather, man.
Yeah.
That is my top project of the year, bruh. God damn, bruh. Like 10 solid projects. I mean, bruh. Real friends. How many of them? How many jealous? I cannot blame you for having your angle. I'm just doing my thing. I hope you're doing your thing too. I hope you're doing your thing too. Shit, my nigga, it was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So, man, listen, bro. Yada, man. Just not because you just from the hometown. It's not just because you from the hometown. You literally had one of the most cohesive and congruent projects that dropped. And I know you was nervous about what you put together. But they say that if you ain't nervous, a lot of times that means you ain't put enough love, energy, and thought into it. And so this was my 2022 project of the year. My little cousin produced the tracks on there. Omaha's hit boy, Q Beats. But just aside from that, the storytelling, the progression, there's not a single track on there that you have to skip.
Yep.
If they're my least favorite, and that's just saying least favorite, is Cream, but it's not. There's no least favorites. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing you have to skip. You had phenomenal features on there.
Man,
you held your own on there. Your cousin Julian Thomas had
crazy
one of the verses in a couple of the lines of the just man, bruh, and phenomenal job. I'm excited to see what's next for you. You was one of the artists that I mentioned that I was looking forward to seeing big things from locally, and now I'm looking forward to. You are the only artist I'm looking forward to as far as on a national stage of what are you gonna do next. Locally, LP in Thailand. Y'all got it. Y'all got next. I want to see what y'all do. I'm looking forward to y'all carrying this momentum. Y'all the man. It's your time to capitalize and take this shit to the next stage on a national level, man. So, man, congratulations.
Yes, sir. And it's crazy because that's when we did the listening party. He asked us for fee. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the one that's supposed to take you out of here. And lo and behold, they running around New York at Shade 45 with meeting up with academics, getting interviews. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this, we know we here. We can hear the effort, bro. Like, even out beyond the beats, just when people hear local music, all local music sound the same because typically there's a lack in the ability of the engineer. There was this is not, this shit is top tier for real.
Man, shout out to Bucky P.
Yes, sir. Bucky P put he bucked on this bitch.
Yes,
ain't gonna
sir.
lie. So that's why he out there doing what he doing in Cali. So he getting it in. But man, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Yeah. So Jonny done got us canceled. They gonna call him a D writer. And he gonna still smack you niggas.
Hey, listen.
In love.
In love.
In love. Man, let me get to my list, man. So I done listened. Jonny, man, you done set the stage for your boy, man.
Man.
Put that paper down. We electronic now. I got too many, bro. Like, look at this shit, man. Look at this, nigga. That's a lot of names. But let me get to my list. I want to just first give a shout out to some honorable mentions who did not make my list. And real quick, my guy Grip with 5 and the Fuck You. It just, for me, I got Grip so high on my ability because Snub Nose was literally 1 or 2 on my list that year that Freddie Gibbs dropped Bandana. That was literally one of my 1 or 2. So
that was one of the projects I ain't listened to this year.
Yeah,
Gangsta Gibbs.
Listen,
man,
you not the music guy. You the reading guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out.
I'm the music guy. So shout out to Grip, man. That shit was still he experimented on that, and I could hear it, so I know what's coming. Let him get it. Let him get busy. I got Duckworth with Chrome Bull, man. Hell of a project. That man know how to put on a show. We definitely got to see him as a unit. Lupe Fiasco came back and had one of the most important songs of the year too. On his album Drill Music to Zion, man. Because he had a verse. This is the verse. He said, rappers die too much. That's it. That's the verse. And stop. That was the verse. Till he got to the second verse. Had to let it breathe. And then we had a lot of shit going on. So Action Bronson with the funniest lines in the history of hip hop. I just love it. This shit just funny to me. And then Nick Grant, man, Welcome to Loveland with it was really a funk album. So it was hard to put even in hip hop. He rapped a good some of it, but it's a funk album. It's pure funk. It's a funk album.
Man, shout out to Nick Grant.
Man.
I ain't listened to Nick Grant like that since, was that 88? Did he have that project 88?
88. That's a mixtape.
Man, listen. I listened to the next one after 88, but that 88 one was special with the window seat.
Yeah. So
gold chains.
I'm gonna get into my list. I got 25, so I ain't gonna give a long drawn out speech on all of them. And I'm gonna start it out with somebody y'all don't know. And I don't care. Shout out, number 25, I got Eldon Aura. I hope my numbers is correct. Eldon Aura with Vertigo, but it's like Vert in parentheses with ego on the outside. So checking how high his ego is going. So Eldon Aura I think he's out of Chicago. I seen him live with No Name And I've been following since. But Elton, man, shout out to you. That shit is smooth. I hope like I said, I hope my number's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, number 24. We got, I ain't stressing today. No, I ain't stressing today. My God, Dear Silas, man.
Okay.
With It's Giving Self-Love. I seen this man make his own song pop. This man been dancing on the internet for a year, popping his chest, and now everybody is reposting this song. He made his shit go. If y'all want to see effort and fortitude, look no further than Dear Silas. But hell of an artist, and the project is solid, bro. Just because he having fun with some real storytelling, some funny storytelling, and he plays saxophone. He get busy, or the trumpet. He gets busy, so. Number 23, somebody we still don't know what she looked like. I don't know what her face looked like. She always got some type of bandana mask on. LaKaylee, 47. Shape Up. People calling me. LaKaylee, 47. Shape Up. A lot of singles on there. She got one of my favorite R&B songs of the year called Baseball on there. That shit hard. But she, somebody I just got really hip to and started listening to. But LaKaylee, 47, man, Shape Up. Number 22, Westside Gun with 10. That's not the original name of the project. It's not 10, but damn it, Kanye, you messed up his ability to put the original name out. Illa wears Hermes. 10, number 10. You done made a punch on, but since Kanye did what he did, he couldn't he just called it 10. But and not gonna lie, this Westside Gun album is really a joint album between him and Stove God. Stove God all over that bitch. And I love Stove God hard to me, man. But Westside Gun, man, that grunge, man, that real New York style shit, man. And then number 21, I got my guy Westside Boogie. No More Black Superheroes. His storytelling is immaculate, bro. The way his ability to, especially they talking about an ex, but his storytelling is immaculate, and just him going into different characters on this project, him recognizing that sometimes he's just himself, sometimes he's the rapper, and sometimes he just a gangster, super blood. You know what I'm saying? That's what he literally called himself, super blood. Super blood. But just being able to navigate them spaces, man. Shout out to Boogie, man. Westside Boogie. Number 20. Here comes, I'm sorry, y'all, but the rap critics gonna get on my ass. I got JID at number 20. The Forever Story. Look, your guy like, what?
Listen, I almost mentioned him, but it was one that I didn't listen to enough of the project.
Yeah.
Like, because when I initially listened to the project, the only song that really stood out to me was Dance Now. Dance Now and Brother Them. Yeah. Those was the two songs that stood out to me initially. And I don't think I made it too much further than Sister Them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really, it was one of those slow burners, you know what I'm saying? So like, it was one of them ones that I was a little bit low-key disappointed because I describe JID as a rapping motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, he's a rapping motherfucker. That he gonna out-rap your ass. He gonna rap miles around you. And I just felt like it didn't all the way transfer into his ability to storytell. And it wasn't as great of a sequel and a follow-up to the Never story that I really liked. I liked it, that project. That project was fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been calling it for me a slow, and I think because it is extremely hard to make a extremely personal album pop off. It's just difficult to do with those type of stories you're trying to tell. It's only a select few who can really get that shit off. But it's not like the rapping is not bad. Nothing's really bad about it. It just did not grasp my attention like I was hoping it would, like his other projects have. It just didn't do it, but you can tell the nigga can rap. Like, that's not the double and triple entendres in that bitch. Like, he get busy. Number 19 for me, man. The random surprise for me. I just was searching my app, man, and who is this? Seeing it got some spins. Let me check it out. Young cat, I think he like 18, 19. Dude named Red Veil. Learn to swim out of the DMV area. Never heard of him before. Just took a chance and just bought it. And I was like, damn, this shit is actually really good. One of those people I know is gonna grow in this and get better. He even got to, after the project, got somebody like Denzel Curry to feature on the project. So Red Veil, learn to swim, man. 18, man. We going next. I'm gonna lose count, so I'm gonna just start going up. Earth Gang with Ghetto Guys. Yep. People just ain't saying them at all. Like, like, y'all just done forgot about. Like, this shit is.
So I had them on my list, and there was another one that I felt like I didn't hear enough of the album to be able to be like, this was one of my top projects. But they one of my favorite groups. And that Smoke Some song, it's something about that. It's the vibe of that. Roll up another one. In my place, hey, fire up that shit for my, hey, that's my song right there, man.
Yeah, man. They told you to check on your strong fans. And then even for the club records, man, just Billy go hard. Just do. Yeah, I'm fucked up, geeked up. I'm like, yo, they get you bouncing, but they always do. So Ghetto Guys, and just even the storytelling, they are extremely slick with the stories they tell over beats that'll get you bouncing. But the shit they're talking about, this is, you know, you can tell they are Dungeon family outcast kids. You know, by default, whether they listen to them directly or they probably listen to a lot of people that influence Dungeon family and Outkast. So you can tell they are descendants of them out there in the A. But yeah, Ghetto Guys is great. Next up, man, I got my guy Joey Badass with 2000. And I'm so glad he came back, and I'm glad he feels free in making music. Because his last album was extremely political, and I did not enjoy the music in that last one. But this one was very refreshing. You can tell he just in a space where he feels renewed. And I think he even said he got into acting, and it's helped him release the angst of like, I gotta no, I can just rap. Especially when it ain't your only bag no more. So that pressure's gone. Man, let me actually flex and do what I do. But Joey Badass 2000, man, that was a great project, bro.
I like that Make Me Feel song. I remember you played that before.
So yeah, man, Joey Bad. Next on my list, man, a lot of y'all don't know him. He was a part of a group out of Detroit, Michigan called Clear Soul Forces. With my guy getEJIKEwithit with Pocket Jams. And that's the one you was like, yo, this shit caught me. It got me bouncing. getEJIKewithit got the down. It's basically funk and rap. Like he flipped a bunch of funk beats, great funk beats, and he is rapping. He just going. And it's a good time, man. He brought back the house party. It is literally like the house party vibes. So just a lot of bouncing. He bouncing on the beat, he going in, man. getEJIKewithit with Pocket Jams, man. If y'all ain't heard it, just go check it out, man. I promise you, like, that shit is fun. Be in a fun mood. I'm spinning that shit at the parties. Next up, I got The Boy in 2121. Drake and 21 Savage, Her Loss. Because I told y'all before, I'm not a Drake fan. I'm not gonna lie, this shit is good. Like, this shit good. I know he hinted at it at Honestly Nevermind with the last track he had with 21. But this full project, it was on some shit, bro. It's a longer project, but they can tell they got a good chemistry between them. 21 was even giving you some real bars, bro. Like he was, like my favorite songs is the ones where they were by themselves and they were kind of introspective. And I keep blanking on the name of the songs, but 21's where he was just by himself rapping. I'm like, okay, now we kind of learning more about him. But he was rapping, bro. Like this shit, I was like, all right, this shit is some fly shit. There's a lot of shit you can get off. And just them flipping like the beat, that very popular pop song, One More Time. I need to celebrate. Like they gotta flip it.
Oh yeah. Come on. That was my song like that. Blue, I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da. Those was my motherfucking songs, bro.
They flip that bitch and it's going. And you DJs suck. They be giving niggas layups sometimes.
We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah.
Don't worry.
Hey, one more time. Hey, that's my shit. I'm about to find that song right now. Who sing that shit?
Yeah, you said Daft Punk. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
After that, man, I got through it. I know you said you didn't get through it, but Ab-Soul with Herbert. I got Ab-Soul with Herbert, man. Just shit, even hearing his story, he was about to have an album drop without him being here on purpose for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't in the cards.
Man, yeah, I seen that story, man. I said, wow. I mean, yeah, just him telling his story. Another artist that you just be thankful that they here sharing their vulnerabilities and what they going through. And the dangers, right, of like being mindful about everything you intake too. Because I remember hearing this quote earlier this year. It was like the majority of growth come not from what you learn, but from what you unlearn. And just like the power in unlearning things. And sometimes there's certain things we learn that we have to unlearn that could take a dangerous hold on us. So yeah, they're very, very powerful stuff.
Yeah, man. He really he brought you back to him. That's why he called it Herbert. This is who I am. Let me take you to who I am. Not this superhero rapping from about women or women's rights in a slick way. Not me, just a black little pastor, but learn who Herbert is. And he gave it to us, and I'm glad he's still here, man. For real. Number 13, man. This shit a vibe. Smino, Love for Rent. Hella great samples. Some pop, some R&B samples. Like, he got some cold shit in there. It's just on this project. This is one of the. Smino has a very interesting rap style. Hard to follow his content and what he's talking about, but it sounds amazing regardless. It's almost like scatting. And this is one I haven't still just really sat with his lyrics to see and dive into him, his lyrics. But Smino definitely put out some shit that was, yeah, man. He got some groove on this one. So, man, shout out to Smino, man. Shout out to St. Louis. Next up, man, we got damn Gangsta Gibbs, man. So Separately. Gibbs is just a rapping ass nigga, man. He be rapping. Yeah. If I go to a Gibbs concert, I don't think I'm gonna know how to rap one line, maybe a couple hooks, because he just be rapping. But it sounds so great. And it's like you understand the content, you hear it, it's just hard to rap. And it lets you know his skill level is elite. Like, this shit just hard to rap. But So Separately was, you know, that shit was very smooth. I didn't even know he was coming out this year. And I like how he's able to flex with different producers. Don't have to stick with the same type of producer. Can go over here, do this, go over here, do this, go over, and do very executive producer albums. Like, he'll go over here, do this, he'll make one with Alchemist, he'll make one with Madlib, he'll make one with what's the white guy's name? Oh man. He be like, don't overthink shit. Why am I blanking on him? Oh, Kenny Beats. He got out. Like, he'll go he basically feel like, I can rap on whatever. Just let me rap. Just know I'm gonna talk about what I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, man. Next up, and I think this is 11, man. My guy out of Tennessee, man. YG Tut. My guy Tut, man. In My Head. Yeah.
Is that the one that got that animal song on there?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like an animal. Yeah. So that one, he got some vibey shit. Triple G. So good. It's like, I love country rap tunes. You make me feel. I'll make you nigga bounce to this. So good. I'll be jamming. But Tut be going. And this is like, for me, his one of his best projects since his mixtape Preacher Son, which is critically acclaimed. That shit was amazing. But In My Head, you know, this was him putting everything together, getting it out. This is a hell of a project. Now for my top 10, I'm gonna make Johnny mad. But And number 10 for me, that's where I got my guy Yada Man at.
Okay.
I got Yada, because I done listen to way too much shit.
Mm-hmm.
I got Yada Man, Jacket Weather. And Johnny's not bullshitting you.
Mm-hmm.
This is 10 songs, hella 5 songs,
Mm-hmm.
cohesive project that flows, that's on topic with it being cold outside, dropping it when it's actually cold outside, and talking about the harshness of the world and what some of the shit he's even partaking in and how he's dealing with this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you didn't mention the features, but Julian Thomas, that shit was hella crazy. That's his actual cousin. You got Dizzy Wright, you got Mick Jenkins on this bitch. So don't think this is just some dude around the block. They put the work in, and he earning his keeps. And I'm like you, bro. I'm really ready to see where he go. Ever since hearing him for the first time, we said that's one of my favorite people to watch on stage. Yeah. I want to hear what he got. This is the one that take him out of here. So man, shout out to Yada Man with Jacket Weather, man. Shit, I got my jacket on. Shit,
I got a couple. Shit.
But yeah, man, Yada Man with Jacket Weather. Next up, man, very unorthodox. I'm finna smack y'all with one. There's a barometer in rap that I use to see who's good. And from the Dungeon family, Big Rube often picks and chooses who he decides to bless with a poem on a project. This artist, he blessed with a poem, so I knew it had to be some shit. And he's really rock, but he got a rap and a soul album. Pink Seafood with Gumbo, the deluxe version. Look it up. That's all I gotta say. It's a lengthy album. The first half is rap. It's like country young nigga rap with a soulful flair from the South. And the shit is, for me, it was it's not my typical listen, bro. That's not my, but I'm like, no, this shit is, I'm like, this nigga is, yeah. He's the one you're gonna see at the top of an Afropunk very soon.
It's at Pink Seafood?
Yeah, Pink Seafood.
That's one of my students had listened to Pink Seafood, had turned on a couple of the songs. So definitely a lot of the students is rocking with him for sure. So when the youth is rocking with you, that's how you know.
I've told you, this young nigga rap, the way he raps, but his content ain't all just bullshit, but I'm like, it's a crazy blend, but he is there, and he got a full rock album. He like metal. So he do his thing. So Pink Seafood, man, we watching, bro. Gumbo. Next on my list came early in the year, and it held us down early in the year with Saba. A few good things. I was happy to hear from Saba. That Chicago scat style of rap, but man, he put his foot down on this, and to the point where I said this might be the only person that can get Lil Durk on the album and Black Thought on the same album. They on the same album.
That's crazy. Y'all didn't even know Saba had dropped a project this year.
Yeah, man. Few good things by Saba. It's a beautiful sounding project. And then in there, you can hear a lot of the influence from what he grew up listening to. It's almost like a lot of the samples were taken from some of his favorite songs off TRL, from back in the day, MTV, Total Request Live and shit. But Saba definitely came through. Next on my list, man, I think this at 7. All right, yeah, the critics gonna be pissed off. This is where I got pushed, man. I got pushed at
number 7.
It's almost dry at 7. I was so happy to hear from Malice and to hear that he's not No Malice no more. He's just Malice.
Just Malice.
I ain't gonna lie, I was like, because No Malice, same guy, but sometimes when you go to the church, you gotta let people go through their phase. So he still don't got no smoke for you, but he Malice. So leave his brother alone. He told y'all. But Pusha T, you already said it, bro. His bar, because he don't got to rap fast. He know what he's trying to talk about. You know what he's going to talk about. Let's just start there.
It's the fact that they build. Like, he throw punches, you know what I'm saying? Like, he be, he'll hit you up top and shit just to open you up when you move your guard for the rib shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be throwing punches, and they add up.
Yeah, they track after track, and for him to be produced by Ye, half of it Ye, half of it Pharrell, and to hear him just to float on both sides of those beats, and even being able to hear the difference in the beats. if you were familiar with them, you know whose beats is whose. And almost like it was like getting a competition, which is very smart, a competition between two of the best producers ever to give you on your project. you got to come with some shit. So it's not going to be too many albums that are higher produced than this because it's just not possible. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Push, man. He on this streak, man. It's just one of them. They keep saying rap a young man's game, but that is not all the way true. Yes, a young man's game is a grown man's business. So I just came up with that. So
I know. Hey, you better. Yeah, that shit was heavy.
Hey, we gotta hit.
That shit was the heavy.
Then she came late. I love her though. Little Sims.
Oh man, see, I haven't listened to it. That's what I'm saying. I ain't listened to most of the projects, man. That shit just dropped a week ago. Like, that's how, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people keep sneaking these projects out 1 week before the year is up and shit. Like, do it technically count as last year? Do we count it as this year? Because that's when we got to digest it.
Yeah, I go by the date it's released. So I had to get to it. She's one of my favorites. I got so many of her shits in my phone. It's crazy. Simbi came with it, bro. And she was not bullshitting. She let it go on this album.
Yeah.
All of her frustrations. And she basically partnered with Cleo Soul. So this is how I said Westside Gunn had Stove God on his album. That's how she has Cleo Soul on her album. She's backing pretty much the vocals, any R&B vocals on there is by them. And she even sampled a Cleo Soul song and then flipped it and used it on the album. I heard it. If nobody else heard it, I heard it. I was like, damn, she's sampling the homegirl she working with on this whole project. So thank you. No, for real. No, thank you, Little Sims, for sneaking that bitch out there. Amazing video for it, for the project. She put out a compilation video, so it's about 10 minutes long. And she even did it to where she left, like, she just put the heavy content on there and storytelling on the video, left the bangers on the album. You know what I'm saying? But she got some, that shit, she flowing, bro. That Gorilla is tough. That flow on Gorilla is tough. That shit tough. So, yeah, Little Sims. And then we gonna get into shit in my top 5. Yeah. Larry June. Hey, spaceships on a blade.
Man, shout out to June, man.
That shit, he been putting in the work, bro.
Yes, sir.
He
consistent.
Extremely consistent. Like, it ain't too many people that put more shit out than him. You got like Currency. I don't think nobody beat Currency, but it's like, damn, they're amazing bodies of work. And to see him growing organically, he loved organic. Just to watch it, for him being a rambunctious nigga with the best ad-libs ever.
Yeah.
At the start of his mixtapes to now, and the content, and to grow from not just talking about little pimping and shit, but just the growth, bro. Like, this is maturation for real. So Larry June, Spaceships on the Blade, man. That shit make you, it's ride, bro. You just gotta ride. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, and shit. We ain't cooking no breakfast.
I ain't gonna lie, June. I cook on breakfast.
Shit, hey, listen, me too. Sitting there lying and shit. Look at how niggas always. I'm talking about how people was lying earlier and shit. Look at me on here lying and shit on the.
I just got a rule. My rule, if I can't wake up with you and talk to you, you can't go to sleep with me. And if you're in my house and I'm hungry, I'm gonna cook. I'd be rude not to feed your ass if I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna keep doing my daily thing. So come on, your ass, sit down and get these biscuits and these sausages, my nigga. So come on, get this food, this nourishment. Then you can leave.
Hit your beat after you eat. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Shoot.
You ain't gotta go home.
Don't gotta go home, but you gotta leave him. Unless we snowed in. That's a different story.
Man.
Number 4, man, Coast Contra. Apartment 505. I had to get it. Them brothers shocked the shit out of me when I went down to Phoenix. They had me stop. I'm like, I don't know who these, and the way they energy is and being in sync and how they perform tracks. This is like Wu-Tang.
Yep.
They're literally the embodiment of the song Scenario, but all the time.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
That is the embodiment of scenario, but all the time. And just it's crazy, and to watch them pop from their freestyles right before their album drop was the best marketing ever. And they were giving it to them, boy. Them niggas, boy, just the fun, like you said, the ability to play on the beat, rap with the beat, play off each other, and go like that. They got some bars, bro. So I don't know how people would sleep on them. It's like, damn, they all popped on TikTok and Instagram and all and YouTube. Why ain't y'all get the project? Like, this shit was exactly that. Yeah, Coast Contra. For me, number 3, I got through it, man. Nas and Hit Boy just them niggas. I don't, they just them niggas. I don't know what it is. He is rejuvenated and enjoying himself. I think they got more shit coming, but they ain't missed, bro. That is insane. They 4 projects together, exclusively together, and this one had no features, just Nas, and it didn't bore you. And it's the production is crazy, bro. So
yeah, he had some lines on there where he talked about him and Jay-Z and how this is next level marketing and stuff like that, like how they battle different now, so like. Just the stuff that Nas talk about is next level, and that's what I said. I want to get through the project because Nas always been one of my favorite MCs. Don't get it twisted. I like Jay-Z too. Love Jay-Z. Reasonable Doubt. A lot of people sleep on that project. The Evils. That song is crazy. Can I Live is crazy. Like, whole project is crazy, but Nas has just always been different. It's the reason why Cole said he felt like he let Nas down.
Yeah, man. And the content is still there. He's still rapping about the shit that's happening in the world. It's still there. So, and then that Get Light song is one of my favorite party tracks. That's just one of my favorite. That shit, because to come from party and bullshit, and they the same BPM. I just threw you DJs another alley. Y'all got to go find the tracks that mesh together that's supposed to be together. But yeah, Nas King Disease 3. Number 2 on my list, man. Vince, man, that's just my favorite, one of my favorite people. I done said it before. Ramona Park broke my heart. And it's crazy because he said this is gonna be hopefully his last like anthology. You know what I'm saying? He's been always giving us who he, how he grew up, the neighborhoods, what was happening. So this is one of them projects, bro, like front to back. It's just his ability to change and to not get bored. I think this is the first time he said he even had extra tracks. Like he like, I don't keep nothing. So I put out everything I record. It's like, if I think it's trash, it ain't gonna stay. So it's not, I don't have no songs in the tuck. There's nothing to leak. But he actually got to use different producers on this one. Unlike his last one, which was all Kenny Beats. But just amazing tracks, bro. Front to back, all the way down that bitch. And to be able to tell your story in full, and then to give you better reference of where he's actually from, how he grew up, to give you more insight in who he is and why he is the way he is, and to always couple that with his ability to think for himself. You can tell he just sits and thinks. You can literally tell he don't be around people for real, because he's thought out everything you can ask him. That's, again, one of my people that I got to meet. I've met one passed away, rest in peace, Nip. And I got to meet, Saul Williams, and Vince is on that list of people I just want to talk to one of these days. But yeah, man, Ramona Park broke my heart, man. And then number 1, you already know, man.
Kendrick.
Kung Fu Kenny, man.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Even to preface the album, when he prefaces it with the heart, to call it correctly on the Heart 5 and talk about the damage and shit we do that we call culture. To see this shit manifest out throughout the year. I'm like, this is crazy. Unfortunate. And for every song to be what it is and what it's about, top to bottom, for the tracks to literally kind of mirror each other, even when they're speaking parts, as far as where they're laced at, the style of to go from one track that you can kind of bop to in the club to one that's a little more laid back, but the content it gets super heavy. To him, the elements of the track to where you hear the tap dancing, where he's like, "Nigga, don't dance around the subject,
Don't dance
get to
around it." Man, yeah, the truth is, the cat is out the bag. I am not your savior.
Yeah.
I find it just difficult to love thy neighbor, especially when the people got ambiguous favors.
Bro, this nigga, again, like you said, we ain't there to grasp fully what he was saying and everything, and like I said, with all these comments about what's going on in the world. For him to talk about shit that's difficult, that people that have never talked about on a track. When you talk about, his auntie, you know what I'm saying? My auntie is a man now. I ain't never heard nobody talk about this experience on the track. That everybody in the neighborhood kind of know because everybody got that. To even then go into the psychology of not just himself and his trauma that he felt, and the importance of releasing that trauma, but to talk about why some of these young dudes are why they are.
Man.
And to go through that. Like, Mother I Sober is one of the most important tracks I've heard in hip-hop of importance on not rapping, importance on content to the people that listen to rap.
Man, yeah, as you talking about it, because I haven't listened to the project probably in close to 5 months. It's been a minute. So, like, as you talking about it, I'm thinking about... like Shut the Fuck Up When You Hear Love Talking. Like I said, it's literally to follow that song up after what's the one where they arguing?
I don't know. Huh? Cry Together. Yeah, we cry together.
So to follow it up after We Cry Together, where it's transpiring what people think love is, but then telling you to shut the fuck up when you actually hear love talking. Like that, like it's just the listings of the tracks, the way that they tell a story, even with the titles of the tracks and the subject matter as it's continuing to build. So like it literally go through a story of healing and a person realizing that a lot of the ways that they think that they're loving people is hurting themselves and everybody else around them. And I think that is just one of those. So that was the best project that I listened to, but it wasn't my favorite project of 2022. But as far as like in its entirety of what it means for creating an environment of healing, culture, everything like that, I won't be surprised when that gets a Pulitzer Prize, because it has to. The writing on it is phenomenal. The storytelling is phenomenal. The interdisciplinarian of the arts using theater and acting and all of the stuff he used, spoken word. I mean, shit, like you can't say too much more. Like there's literally 5 or 6 different artistries that he put on that project. So it definitely is the best project of 2022. It just wasn't my favorite. And as Kendrick killed it. Like he killed it, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I literally been saying that he is theater to my ears. This is what I always say because of what he puts in the sound effects, the tonality in which he speaks on certain parts and certain songs puts you in a frame of mind to place you in the place of where he's at and where he's trying to get you. He does that by voice. And the crazy part is him following up with these videos is crazy. Every video he shot for this is crazy. Even to the concept of We Cry Together, because the song is so raw, he placed it like it was you were watching a play and they have mics on them or mics in the distance and they're talking like it's a play, bro. So there's not even clean recording. So it's live. So even him hearing him slip up on a couple words that's really in the song, he left it. It's like a live production because we don't get no redos in life, bro. So like I'm just watching like this shit is crazy. And watching his I'm like this shit, I see why he left and did PG Lane. I see now. I'm like, this division. I'm like, I know he finna take it somewhere. Where we taking it? I'm like, okay, you truly get some freedom. He had it. Don't get it twisted. Top, let this nigga cook. But it's just sometimes you gotta go and do your real own, like in your own timing. So shout out to K-Dot, man. Like Oh man, that shit crazy. That shit is crazy, bro. K-Dot got it, and I know niggas is really critical on hip hop albums because they only listening for the rap in it, but not listening even just the depths of the rap like that, and the importance of timing when we release shit. That shit is one of the most important pieces of work that we've had for a time frame in a long time. That is an important piece of work, bro, to capture this time. So,
and it was ahead of the time, right? Because it was kind of before a lot of the mental health stuff, and like, you know, you just see what's going on, you see the waves, you see the residuals, and it kind of gave people permission to tell their story. Because like once he dropped, you just started seeing like the subject matter kind of changed of the albums that was dropping. And I think it was COVID. You mentioned this before. COVID made people more introspective, reflective, and seeing what they got going on. But a lot of the music came from a way more in-depth place, you know.
That's what he said on N95. Take that mask and you
ugly as hell. You ugly as fuck.
So take off the everything. Who are you? So man, Kendrick got it, man. So that's my albums. I want to hear see. Go in the comments, man. Let us know what y'all thinking. I'm not gonna argue with you, but I sure like to see what y'all thinking on this shit. But yeah, man, this was a crazy year for music. Like the only big wig that didn't drop is like Rihanna.
Yeah.
She
dropped. It definitely was a big year because I mean, my man Dave East just dropped the project. He got like 3 or 4 on there that I like. You know, I know LP really liked that project, but it wasn't enough for me. Like, okay, it was one of my tops, but nah. Dave East dropped twice this year.
And shout out to DJ Drama.
They're having a resurgence.
This is Drama's year. Period. It's the end of discussion is Drama's year. I don't know what to tell y'all.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many projects he got out. Like, I think it's like 6,
5 or 6.
It's like crazy. Like to take quality street music into the Grammys, and now where he at with this, it's a different money flip now. So especially from where it was with the whole season of the assets and trying to send this man to prison for
that was 15 years ago, and that's crazy. You know? Like because he was that man. He was where people went to get new music and see who was hot. If you didn't have that stamp, you know, Gangsta Grills was it, bro. If you ain't had that Cannon. You know what I'm saying, bro? If you didn't have that on there, it wasn't official, bro. So, yeah, I just, you know, I love to see the people who help, you know, birth what we love, you know what I'm saying, get they just due, and still be in a position where they winning.
Yeah, man. For sure, man. We almost out of here. Before we get out of here, I think I'm going to just drop my few people I want to watch in 2023, man.
Okay.
Real quick. I'm going to it's 4.5. And the half is interesting. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with this person who's also part of the group, and I mentioned him earlier. This is somebody who I think is going to pop national, like on a recognizable level. Everybody in music knows who she is, and the music heads know the group. But that's Cleo Soul and Salt. I think this is the year.
I didn't even know she was part of a group,
bro. I knew
they dropped 5 projects.
Yeah, I couldn't even put Salt in the category because they dropped so much. They literally, I just got the 5-pack. Like, yo, I was just trying to get through this shit. But a phenomenal group. She's a hell of a singer and songwriter, bro. Like, I think this is the year where she goes national here in America, because they're overseas in England. But I think she goes national here in America, and it's gonna be something. It's gonna kind of be part of the surge of getting soul music back, like, as a mainstay in America. It's harder in America. Overseas, they still love soul music. Here, it's a little difficult. Our people, like, I want to see, again, just like our Moonchild did, reach out to some of the folks who did it over here and see what happens. But I think they're going to be a mainstay, and Salt is just a hell of a group. To have 5 projects to drop at once.
Crazy.
Like, y'all working.
Crazy.
And already had a project come out this year. And, like, that's insane, bro.
Crazy.
like I don't know who the composers are. I think all of them probably each compose and they just bring ideas and they just play them and figure the shit out. Like that shit is crazy.
Crazy.
With Salt and Cleo Soul. Two of my other ones, man. One I mentioned earlier because I said he popped himself with one song dancing. I want to see what Dear Silas do. I want to see the follow up, and I think he can because he's also plays the trumpet. I think, and he raps. He already got a feature with like Crit on the song. I think he can. I want to see it. I really want to see it, and I got a good feeling about him. Because he has put the spotlight on himself. I know he working. So, you know, the small town people I would like to see when they go. So, Dear Silas, you on my watch list, brother. Next one up, third one up, Foggy Raw. He just dropped another little smooth. Hey, I'm sorry, Miss Johnson. You know your daughter likes short niggas, Miss Johnson. You know, what your mama like? What your daddy say? Like, he just be smooth, like, and over these beats, like, it's crazy. But to learn the algorithms and to play on it is crazy. Let me drop these 1 minute shits over some of y'all favorite beats and just a different style and just gliding. Another one from the diaspora, but over here rapping, and I'm like. Got it, and just the visuals with it, like even just going grayscale, but just keeping the gold teeth in color, like you know what I'm saying, like it's just different stuff. But the funny, witty rapping in it, it's like okay, this is hella great for concerts. I don't know what your album gonna be like, but when you perform, you get to perform all this shit, and so now you get to get into the sets. Like I can see it forward, I can see what he can go with it, so I'm ready to watch him. And then my last one is actually a producer. And this shit is crazy. I found him on Bandcamp. Like, who the fuck? And then I done seen him start getting some notoriety. Masego got a song with him. Dude named Devin Morrison. And because we're in the throwback state of house, he sounds like, he makes music that sounds like it should be on Beverly Hills Cops. But it's good. Listen, but smooth jazz. He got the smooth.
I always liked that song. I always tried to sample that beat.
Listen, but it's that sound. So he's using. You can tell. I think he's using some of the old machines and bringing them back. But he literally is bringing back that '90s, that '80s, late '80s R&B sound in music, bro. Cause that's the one that's untapped. And he got like, I think 5 or 6 projects, beat tapes he's put out. If y'all get a chance to check, I think he has a chance to do kind of in that genre in R&B what K Tronada did in the house vibes. So that's what I'm looking for my people. That's who I'm looking at next year. Dear Silas, Foggy Raw, Devin Morrison, and Cleo Soul and Salt.
Man, yeah, no, that's fire. Yeah. For myself, man, like I said, I'm looking forward to my man Yada, man. See what he do. And the only artist from last year that I'm still waiting on to make a lot more noise on the national stage is my man Trev Rich. Outside of that, all of my other artists, they did what they were supposed to do. Trev Rich, I'm waiting on you, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting on you, bro. I'm trying to see what you got popping. I know you got something big that you cooking up, man. So we looking forward to this 2023, man, to see what you got going. But just, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing and discovering a lot more music, but it's always that trade-off between discovering new music and appreciating the old music. And so I'm looking forward to discovering new music, but then looking the ways that we can make sure we appreciate the music and creativity we got out here too.
Yes, sir, man. I think the blend of those worlds, the artists that's digging back, the artists, the real makers of artistry are crate digging again. Wait, this shit was actually... cool. So it's gonna shine that light, bring out the older folks, people who were before the pioneers. Yeah, man, I'm excited. 2023. It's been a great year for 2022. And man, we get back. Hey, y'all again. I hope y'all get your own list of artists. Let us know how y'all doing with those. Let us know y'all opinions. If you want to argue, say let's argue in the comments. I'll get with you then. Other than that, I'm gonna let you live. But let us know what you think. I hope y'all had a great year of listening and or making music, art in general. And I'm seeing again, we've been talking about it there. We're in a renaissance time. So fitting for Beyonce to name that album Renaissance, but we're in that period. I've been talking about this the last few years. We're in an artistic renaissance right now. Especially with all the shit that's coming down cyber and digital, like it's some scary shit. But we are definitely in that. So support your artists. There's no better time to support them than now. Run them numbers up so they can cut better contracts in 2023. And, you know, we looking to do the same. We all looking for growth, man. I'm ready to see what we can cook up in 2023, bro. It's going to be a good year. 2023, I'm going to just tell y'all now, we coming back fresh. New look, new style, and making sure we stay true to who we are, man. Speaking for the streets. That's speaking for the real people who do this shit. In music, around music, and in culture. So we doing this for us and us being a part of y'all. That's who we doing it for. For the folks who don't get to shine like that, the people who are just ultra talented, who need a push, who need a boost. Who's to say we ain't the people that help them pop just by giving them a word? So I don't know, but I'm gonna pretend we are, so we continue to do it.
That part.
So we gonna do our part. We gonna make sure we freshen up for y'all, make this shit lively, man. And I hope y'all stay with us on our journey. Y'all gonna have a lot of opportunities to be down with us, man. Get on our street team, man. So join the street team. There's gonna be more details to come out. But we appreciate everybody in the year 2022. I hope everybody has a blessed holiday season. Be with your families if you can, if it's possible. At least be with them in thought. Be prepared to rejuvenate. If you need to hibernate, it's okay. You're not depressed. You're just in deep rest. You know?
Deep rest, not depressed.
Yeah. Shout out to Absol and shout out to Jim Carrey who gave it to Absol. It's not depressed, it's deep rest. So go ahead and hibernate. This is hibernation season. The animals told you that. So you come out fresh and new, man. So we're gonna do the same. We're gonna finish this year out on top and be prepared for some new ventures in the new year, man.
Yes, sir.
What you got for him, Johnny?
Man, you know how we do it. You know, as black people, 2023, new year, new me. You know what I'm saying? Shit, so y'all know what it is. We doing all that shit, man.
Jordan year.
You know, Jordan year. It's a 7. You know, it's a 7 year. So I love the 7 years, you know. But, you know, just new year, new me. Just focused on maintaining the foot to the pedal. It's been a productive year. And just looking forward to forward motion, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Y'all know where to find the Streets A&R on everything. We gonna fix that shit for Apple in the new year too. But we on everything but Apple. Subscribe, like, comment, follow, share, tell somebody, pop up on us, run up on us in love. And you know, we out here, man. We out and about, man. Streets A&R Podcast. Your host, getEJIKEwithit.
It's your other host, Jonny No Good.
We out of here, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets.